Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're coming in on this Wild Wednesday with superhero Gary Chapman, singer-songwriter all the way from Tennessee. How are you, brother?
Man, I am good. How y'all doing this morning? I know, Harry, did I just hear him say he had a quickie on the radio? I don't think you can do that. I don't think you're supposed to do that. I'm not sure.
You never know from Harry.
I'd have to recheck the FCC regs, but I don't believe you can do that. And I know Pat is in rare form. That was some beautiful radio there. Pat, how are you doing this morning?
Is it back working or not?
No, it's just like it was.
You sound just like Pat.
No, there's nothing more annoying than things that don't work to me. Yeah. So I felt for you. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, talking about things that don't work. Packy, he don't work much either. So, hey, man, we got the Rock, and now we got the Croc, man. Everybody's
it is so good. I'm serious. If we were doing a movie and we decided to create that in the script, somebody would say, "Nah, come on now, come on." Quit it. I love it. I think it's amazing. It made me start thinking about all the other locations in this great land of ours that would be awful to try to get away from. I mean, there's quite a few actually. West Texas comes to mind.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You're going to die.
Yeah. What did Waylon Jennings said where he's from? When his dog run away, you could watch it for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Flat and dry. Yeah, I think it's a good thing, man. And he's actually talking about bringing some crocodiles down to the border. I mean, this is like
they can live in the Rio Grande very happily.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty to eat. They'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm all about it. They're upset, man. They're upset. We already got this bunch of yahoos. They're all worried about the environmental groups are talking about the impact on the environment. I have no idea what they're talking about. There's a little spot down there. And I'm sure alligators like convicts, wouldn't you think?
There'll be an impact on the convicts, but that's about it.
Yeah.
There's no, the impact has already been made. They're not pouring any concrete. It's all there.
That's right.
They're just building stuff on it.
That's right.
And they put tents. I think it's tents. Ain't it? Like them little nice wedding tents or whatever they put up.
I don't know if it's tents, but the sleeping facilities look ideal.
It looks like a prison. It does look like a prison.
It looks like a lot of chain link fence.
A see-through prison.
Yeah.
Everybody's upset. It's like, oh, they're having to sleep in tents and all this. I know people that go out camping all the time in tents and they enjoy it. So.
Oh, I slept in tents in the Everglades growing up.
Did you really?
Sure, man. Cub Scouts. That's what we did in Miami. I mean, we don't have any mountains to hike. You got to go down the Everglades and look at alligators and stuff.
My sleep is always in tents.
All we had.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sitting there thinking he's sending him out the Everglades with alligators. They must not like you much.
Did you say intense or intense?
My sleep is always intense. Yes.
Intense. Okay.
Yeah. He got it. I just went right over my head, man.
That's okay. Sorry. Good to have you, Pat.
Oh well, that should slow down on a lot of that, though. I would think. And we need more places. We need more places to put it. We need to take these folks and do something with them, I would say.
Well, they're just there for a minute.
Yeah. It's a holding area.
And then we can send them all out.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is there's a runway right there.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. There's a runway there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only way
to be the longest runway in the U.S.
Yeah. You can load up a really big plane for lots of people. Yeah.
C-5s, right?
Yep.
I love the hats. I've got to have me one of them hats, the Alligator Alcatraz hat. Full blown. Yeah. Who's ever over all this is, they're all about that. Love it. Yeah, I love it. The Rock, and now we got the Croc. So I don't want to be there. So we ought to have it going on pretty good. So anyway, let's jump to a quick break. We got there's just nothing to talk about. We got the Big Beautiful Bill Act.
The act.
Yeah. It's an act. It's an act. Yeah.
Chuck Schumer, he had to have his little say. The act.
Well, honestly, I think Chuck Schumer has finally said something truthful. It is all an act.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You're right about that. I'd like to know, everybody's got their figures and angles on this thing. And I don't know. I've been kind of looking into it a little bit. I do that sometimes. And I don't know. I got what they call it, mixed emotions. And mixed emotions.
I believe that's what they call it.
when your mother,
mine are mixed. Mine
Yeah.
are mixed.
mixed emotion, the definition of that is when your mother-in-law drives off a cliff in your brand new car.
That's right.
That's mixed emotion. So
Yeah.
let's jump to
Bittersweet.
All righty, we're back with you. The big, beautiful bill act. I don't think the act is going to stick, but they want to call it the act, but I think it's still going to be called the big, beautiful bill. 50-50, and it was tie broke by J.D. Vance. So we have got it in motion. One thing that Pat Malone was talking about earlier, Steve brought this up. Go ahead, Steve. Take it. Run with it.
Yeah, Pat, you had mentioned that you don't understand why the vice president gets to vote in situations like that because he was not elected by himself, and therefore, why can he vote with the Senate? Well, the answer, my friend, is in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 3, Clause 4, where it says the vice president, quote, shall be president of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless they be equally divided, unquote. So there's your answer. It's in the Constitution.
Yeah, there's this thing called the Constitution.
But it still, to me, doesn't make any sense that an unelected bureaucrat gets to make the deciding votes on ties.
You're going to have
to
change.
I thought ties generally meant no.
There will be no tie.
It's not a tie.
There will be a tiebreaker. Yeah,
There's no tie.
The Constitution says no, there are no ties. There will be a tiebreaker, and it will be voted upon by the vice president, who is the president of the Senate.
There you go, Pat. You've been schooled again by a smart lawyer.
All right.
You moron.
And while we're at it, you also mentioned that we got a whole bunch of hearings going on with Biden's former aides, and Trump has waived their executive privilege, and he can't do that because Biden is the one that did it. Well, may I remind you, good sir, back in 2021, that's exactly what Biden did to Trump's aides who were called to testify before the J6 committee. So this is not without precedent. It is a thing. It is completely legitimate. I think it's going to be just fine.
Just real quick,
well,
a note,
just because there's a president doesn't mean that it's right.
Yeah, a note to the listeners: when a lawyer calls you good sir, he's about to unload on you.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. It's akin to I mean also, this with the greatest amount of respect.
That's right. With all due respect.
Yeah, and then the disrespect is what happens.
Just another quick side note. The ticket that got elected to the president and vice president's position in this recent election was Trump Vance. He did get voted on. Right. We all did it
as a team.
Nobody votes. He's elected. Nobody votes for the vice president.
I did. I absolutely did. It comes.
You voted for the ticket that was Trump Vance.
It weighs heavily.
Yeah.
When you got a 78-year-old president, you're not thinking about who might take his place if, oh, God forbid, something happens to him. Yeah, it weighs heavily.
Do you know who the first president was that broke a tie in the Senate? Who do you think that is, Pat?
The first president who broke a tie?
The first vice president who broke a tie in the Senate.
I was probably John.
You always
Adams.
have trivia.
I was going to say this.
John Adams did it 29 times, and he was the first vice president of the United States.
Oh,
what did he know?
29 times he rock and rolled on that, didn't he? Hey, I don't know. Here on this bill, everybody's talking about. You hear it like, okay, Elon Musk is like, this is the end of the world. The deficit's going up. Blah 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 blah. What is y'all's take on that? Do you think that we got a lot of, I don't know what they've left in there. We always don't know till it already comes out, but there's a lot of stuff that's in there, tax reduction and all that kind of stuff. But as far as what do you think you think it's going to add to the deficit? What do you think?
I think the deficit's going to keep going up until the economy does what I suspect it will. I think when the growth rate hits, 3.5-ish, it'll start turning. It'll turn pretty quickly too. But I got to say this just because I'm so proud of her. My senator, Marsha Blackburn,
right,
going into yesterday after midnight, everybody was saying there's only 3 votes that are going to vote against allowing the federal government to basically give a pass to all the big tech companies on AI for 10 years, for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
They would be absolutely unshackled by anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she dug in her heels saying, no, that's a state issue. And when the dust settled on that vote, it was 99-1 the other direction. So
Right.
yeah, I'm really proud of her because,
So-
and
so
she's
what's in
been
the-
saying, let me finish. She's been saying that she was thinking about running for governor.
Mhm.
And I was going, well, wait a minute, you're a U.S. senator. I kind of think of that as a step down, maybe, or at least at the very least sideways. No, if you know that the trend is headed towards states' rights for more power to be given back to the states. Hey, there's 100 senators. There's only 50 governors,
Yeah.
and I think she's going to come home and run for governor of Tennessee, and I think she'll win.
Well, that's
So
good.
what ended up in the big bill?
Oh my gosh, a lot of crap you don't
No,
want.
no, no.
One,
In
the
regard
climate.
to the artificial intelligence that you were talking about.
They shut it down completely. I mean, they're still going to be able to do it, but they're going to have to be watched.
Who's going to be able to do it? The states or the
No, the
federal
tech
government?
companies. The tech companies.
Mhm.
They're private companies.
So what is the concern with the AI?
Oh, I don't know, the Antichrist. No,
Yeah,
it is an
there's
amazing. It is the perfect platform for that if you believe in such things as the Bible. But there's also amazing, great things in it, just
Right.
like the rest of life. There's good and evil pretty much everywhere you look. But it's incredible potential for darkness. You can like those goofy glasses that I'm having a blast with, the
Right.
Meta AI glasses. They're programmed without question because I'm having extended conversations uh, with myself. We used to think people were crazy when they were stumbling down the street talking to themselves.
They just
And
had
I'm
meta
doing it.
glasses
I'm
on,
doing
man.
it all the time.
Yeah.
No, when you ask them, him, her, it, whatever,
I think mine do.
what is a woman?
Yeah.
You start asking those questions. If you look up in the sky and you go, wow, that I'm a pilot. I know what a jet trail looks like. That doesn't look like a jet trail. Is that a chemtrail? Are people spraying chemicals in the sky? Get that conversation going. They're
Really?
skewed really hard left. But
Right.
if you corner them, if you say, hey, no, I need the truth. I mean, really start arguing with it.
Right.
Dang it, if you can't change its mind. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I've done the same thing.
That's
I've
crazy.
done the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I got
Okay, so we know it's not a woman then.
Exactly. Zero question. No. That's
You won the argument.
I'm like you. It could be a good thing, but the past history. It's always just like the government. The crap rises to the top. And takes over. The evil takes over. Seems like every time you turn around. But I don't know.
I mean, there was an article in Fox 10 Phoenix the other day. I didn't bring it up, but it seems pretty relevant now. They did a test. They searched most of the world's most advanced AI models, including OpenAI, Google, et cetera, and they found that the models engaged in blackmail, corporate espionage,
Yes.
and even withheld emergency help when it served their interest. So, so AI is looking after AI.
Yeah. They even
Soccer. Yeah. It's just like us. Amazing.
And it's learning itself, man. That's crazy. So I don't know. You think about all this, but I think a lot of the stuff that's going on with this big beautiful bill, as they keep calling it, I think there's going to be a lot of growth in the United States. It's already going. I think that's going to add to it. And then you got the tariffs coming on top of that. I think that's going to add to a lot of the stuff. So
I'm glad the tax cuts stay in place. I am bummed that a lot of the climate crap is still in there. I think that's just going to get phased out. What they didn't want to do is, I mean, that if you just cut it off at the knees like today, there'd be a lot of job loss. And I think there's some common sense in there, but it's still there's gonna be a bunch of crap in there we won't like, no question.
Yeah, they always are.
There's still politicians that did it, right?
There you go. Yeah, who's your
Still
sponsor?
lobbyists? Are there still lobbyists in Washington?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of crap you don't want.
Yeah, who's your sponsor? Who's your sponsor? That's what you're looking out for, not for the American people. So I don't know.
One of the things we were talking about yesterday, which was the 1.4 million illegals who would receive Medicaid, and the Senate parliamentarian cut that. Well, apparently that's still in the bill. It's still in the act. That was considered what do they call it? A messaging amendment that was designed to force the Democrats to vote against specific provisions to get them on the record. And it was meant to show the public how radical they can be. There was never an intent to cut that. They just wanted to show people what they were thinking. So there you go. Yeah, the 1.4 million illegals are not eligible for Medicaid under the new act, under the new big, beautiful bill.
Well, ain't it amazing that the Democrats are voting against tax cuts and for illegal aliens? I mean, that's kind of what their line is.
I think it's amazing that they're having to actually come clean about who they are.
Yeah, and we know, and we've always known. Yeah, we've always known. And so there you have it. But you still got people, they're up here holding their no king sign,
Yeah.
which makes no sense whatsoever. But yeah. What's wrong, Pat? You cat got your tongue, son?
Nothing. I'm listening to the babble. I thought all this stuff was supposed to be fixed with a new administration. The swamp drained.
Well, now has he done?
No, the swamp's just getting used.
Has he accomplished anything? And how long has he been in president? How long?
6 months.
6 months.
Has he done anything to weigh your opinion of President Trump up to this point?
Yeah, he's done a lot of things that I agree with.
Okay.
That contradicts what you just said 30 seconds ago.
You just choose not to.
He's done a lot of things I don't agree with. He's done the things that don't match up with his campaign rhetoric, which is normal for all politicians. So
Right.
I'm not singling out you're the Lord God Almighty.
Oh, watch your mouth there, buddy.
He said he said your Lord God Almighty. I mean, he is. I wonder who his is.
Yeah, but you don't equate a man with God. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay. I got the lightning rods out.
I would.
But I mean, it's one thing after another. I mean, it's just like, okay, he was going to start World War III. No, that didn't happen.
He prevented it.
Yeah. The
Tariffs are supposed to be inflationary.
Oh, that didn't happen.
Wait. The war is still going on. The one that we got a ceasefire.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And it's still going on, right?
It's still going on.
Wow.
It's still going on, but
Wow.
Iran isn't going to have a nuclear weapon at their disposal anytime soon, so that's a plus.
This is Israel, or they're not coming to some kind of a peace agreement right now.
Israel has just agreed to a 60-day ceasefire with Gaza. We're waiting for word back from Hamas to see if they will agree.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, peace in the Middle East is starting to ring out.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
Self-deportation. They said it never happened. It's happening. Is it not? I mean, people are self-deported.
In a big way.
In a big
actually.
way.
Yes.
In a big way. Yeah.
The border, you couldn't stop the border unless you had some kind of a legislative stuff, and it stopped. I mean, I reckon last month they said nobody come across the border. That's done. I mean, what is there to argue with, Pat?
Well, I'm a little upset about that whole thing you just mentioned. What are the alligators going to eat if people stop coming across the border?
Comment. How about Democrats? We can send them down there. Yeah.
There are 20 million more for them to choose from.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I feel better.
But what is it you disagreed with? I mean, you said they need to do longer peace talks with the Middle East. No, that wasn't right, because we obviously seen when they dropped the big, beautiful bomb that, everybody paid attention. What is Trump doing that you still don't like Trump? I don't understand this Trump derangement syndrome.
I don't have it.
You
I don't understand it either. I mean, there are some people that are totally focused on that. I'm not.
First stage is denial.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, it's like Harry. Every chance he gets, he gouges Trump. But Trump, I mean, to me, I think Trump's doing an outstanding job. Do y'all? Am I wrong? Help me with this.
I do. I mean, speaking about winning, I mean, you saw what University of Pennsylvania did yesterday. They're going to issue apologies to every single female athlete they forced to compete against a male. They're stripping that dude, Leah Thompson, whatever he wants to call himself, of all of his medals and all of his records. And they're rewriting their definitions of men and women to include actual biological references.
I'm going to get Riley Gaines, who lives about 10 miles from here.
Outstanding.
I'm going to get Riley Gaines to give me a copy of the letter that UPenn has to write to her apologizing, and I'm going to make a T-shirt out of it.
Awesome.
That is.
I would like one in double extra large, please.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Yes.
I will buy one. So they have to put it in legislation that about men and women or biological. I mean, are you serious?
It's not legislation. It's on their. It's in their internal. Their internal guidelines. Their university. They're not. a government per se, but
Yeah.
they're going to put it on their guidelines.
Why is that even a question? I mean, why do you have to put that in there?
Because Trump wanted it that way. There's your answer. I mean, I don't know any other
Because we
anything
got
else
all
to say.
these smart politicians that don't know the difference. What is the difference between? Oh, I can't. I'm not a scientist. I don't know that. I don't know that. Well, yeah. What a bunch of morons. Oh well, life is good, is it not?
It is indeed.
Yeah, life is good.
I mean, and at the end of the day, Justice Jackson will go down in history as the epitome of a DEI hire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right, let's get to break. I want to talk about something we talked about yesterday, Pat. Harry, not Harry. I get them confused. They're so much alike. Pat was talking about why do people not have respect for the law and respect for, authority and that kind of stuff. I want to talk about that a little bit when we get back with you, because I always like your side of what's going on with that. So be prepared. We're going to throw you the hard answers. All right, let's get to a break. All righty, we're back with you. Hope everybody's doing good. Gary Chapman, singer-songwriter, all the way from Tennessee up there. Go to his Facebook and his X account. He will keep you entertained. But anyway, I don't know if you've heard about this or not, but yesterday here in this local area, we actually had a deputy was shot and killed from an inmate that they took to the hospital for whatever. But anyway, and Pat was saying, why do people not have respect for the law or respect for authority anymore? What do you think that, I mean, because you've got people out there just doing what they want because they feel like they're able to. I can do anything I want to do. What do you think the deal is with this?
You asking Pat or you asking me?
I'm asking you.
Not near enough kids have heard the sound of a belt coming out of the loops.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically parenting has become a lost art because most of the time, in many cases, the father's absent.
Mm-hmm.
And at its root, it starts there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that has worked its way into the school system. I knew good and well that if I did something wrong in Garth Pretty's class, I was going to get, honest to goodness, a bed slat across my backside.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out I was good in his class, really good.
Right.
Not getting punished for being a bonehead causes you to disrespect authority.
Yep. That's exactly where I come from on that. And how do we fix this? Where are we going with this? I mean, the schools they can't do anything. Their hands are tied. The cops, I mean, honestly, there's actually a thing on Fox News right now. An appeals court ruled that an Alabama prosecution was violated. And this guy was put on death row in 1990. And he is still here with us today. I mean, you have no consequences for your actions. 1990. This guy's been on death row for
Wow.
How does that happen? When is common sense coming back?
Well, if we only had a lawyer that could explain that for us.
Yeah, if we only had a lawyer who understood human psychology like that.
I'm with you, man. I mean, it's just like enough's enough. Shut
No,
up.
then it just undermines good people's trust in the system when it doesn't work. And we've got that at every stinking level.
Yes.
That's the reason Trump is so successful. Despite what Pat may think in his half glass full mind, he's done a lot of things that he said he was going to do, and he's just getting started. So let's wait to vote on that particular overall issue for another 3.5 years. But because he did in his first term, he did every dang thing he said he was going to do.
Yes.
And a lot of it people didn't want, to some degree, at least if you listen to the idiot media, which thank God is dying. That's the most fun part of this to me. No, he's up front. He says exactly what he's going to do. He tells everybody what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine somebody not figuring out that it's probably a good idea if you're on the other side. Maybe you should at least consider listening to what he has to say, because he's probably going to wind up being right. History has proven that.
I reckon CBS just lost $30 million settlement on that.
Into his pocket for lying in 60 Minutes about him.
Yeah.
The news report said it was $16 million.
That was the initial payment. There's more. It's a tiered thing. It's going to be north of $30 million is what I read this morning.
That's from a lawyer, Pat. You want to argue with the lawyer?
Yeah, well, can't argue with the echo chamber.
Object. Yeah.
Sure you can.
Yeah. I love it, man. I that's the thing about it, though. You can't there's so much out there. You don't know who to follow, who not to follow, and the mainstream media, as they say, is not the mainstream media anymore, and they brought it upon themselves.
What I love is that now they're going to change their editorial standards, and this is what they're changing it to, and this is what makes me crack up. Is that I'm going to read this? They're going to promptly release full unedited versions of future presidential candidate interviews. Like, shouldn't that? Isn't that what they should have been doing this whole time? Like it took a $30 million settlement to come to that decision.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, lawyers. Yeah, they got to edit it out. Oh, we need to change this answer to that one and move that answer to this one.
Ooh, that answer looks good over here.
Yeah, that's kind of
sounds like
that question.
Oh, it sounds like you're mixing vocals. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, they're tuning all the vocals.
Oh Lord, I reckon Chuck Schumer said today it's you said, next it might be the IRS or the intelligence agency. Man, he's all upset about you said.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. Look at you. Okay, can we get the
good.
IRS next? Yeah, he's upset about that.
Speaking of USAID, didn't the FBI now, aren't they moving into the former USAID headquarters now?
I had heard that. I don't know if they've started doing it or not. It's okay with me. If they need some space.
I think he was I think he was actually wanting to move it out of Washington, I think.
I don't know where the
Completely,
USAID
but it's actually still in
is.
Washington.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things he said, the FBI agents had to go to Washington and learn the rhetoric and learn the way to be an FBI agent with the politicians. And he was wanting to take that out because if you didn't play their game, you couldn't be a outstanding.
Yeah, but they had to start somewhere, and they have redistributed a lot of the agents / employees, whatever, that were kind of massed right there in Washington.
Yeah.
Do they still call it Washington, D.C.? Has everybody seen that little piece of conspiracy theory? I don't know.
No. Fill us in, man.
Yeah, what's going on there, man?
Look on a map. Open up the map application on your phone and look up there and see if it says Washington, D.C. or not. It does not. It just says Washington.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know what the point is, except, well, yeah.
Now, how do we distinguish that between that
Washington
and the state?
That's a good question. Why would we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I just checked it.
Really?
It says Washington.
How about that? DC, that's good for dark country, right?
Along that same
District
lines.
of Columbia, which allowed it to be completely autonomous from the United States.
Right.
Yeah, along that same lines, they're now referring to Washington, D.C. as one of the states. In any of these rankings of where states rank, Washington is included.
Interesting.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
So Washington, what used to be Washington, D.C. is now the 51st state?
It's in the list of,
would
most
that allow
popular
them,
states or whatever
would that
the
allow
list
them
is.
to have senators and representatives? And
think
up the whole thing?
about how scary that one is.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd rather have Greenland.
Yeah, or Alberta.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I reckon, according to the Babylon Bee, after the illegal immigrants were removed from the census in California, it's leaving the population down to 12.
It will turn it red.
That is a big deal. That is a big deal on the census.
There's a bunch of blue things turning red if they do that. If they actually remove all the illegals from the voter rolls, it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. Yeah, that's going to make a big deal. Do you not think? And is that something that's on the table right now, right? I mean, removing them from everything.
They're definitely talking about it. In all the states that have brains, they're doing it.
Yeah.
Why do we want people that aren't citizens voting for our elected officials? That's crazy.
Well, the Democrats think they vote for them. That's why they want the people from South Africa up here, because they know they're conservatives and Christians. And they know So that's why they're upset about that. But they think all these minorities coming in, and they give them all of our USAID money, us aid, and our Medicare and Medicaid, and put them in our schools, and we pay for that, and they don't pay for a dime. They're going to vote Democrat, which is pretty much what's been happening, I feel like.
So far, yeah. So far, their plan has worked well. Yeah.
So maybe rule of common sense will prevail, hopefully. But we're still dealing with the government. Hey, where was this at? I've seen that Laura Trump, they said she's the front runner for North Carolina.
Yeah, basically it's hers if she wants it.
Yeah. What do you think about that? I think that's pretty awesome. I like her. Do you like her?
It'd be a fun fight. Yeah. Who would she run against on the Democrat side? Or who would she run against in the primary? Who would that be? The current governor?
Pretty much nobody.
Oh, really?
Tillis has announced his retirement, and there was I think that the current her co-chair of the RNC, when she was doing that, he's been interested, but he flat out said, if you want it, I will not run.
Yeah, but that's for the Republican.
That's
position.
Republican.
Who
you asking
on the other side?
Oh, I have no clue.
Roy Cooper.
Roy
Yeah,
Cooper. Oh, there you go. Okay.
And that would be a good race, I think.
Meaning a tight race?
It would be, yeah, it would be very tight.
Do we like him?
No.
Harry does. Harry does. Yeah.
No.
So I tell you, Harry loves him. Old Cooper. Yeah. Oh, Harry, if that tells you anything. Yeah. Oh, well.
I need to look back at some of his news conferences when during the middle of the pandemic. You won't like him very much.
All right, let's jump to a break. We got to give something away. Is it that time? I guess
yes, it's that time, Stephen.
What are we giving away, Packy?
Well, today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah, S&S Smoothies.
S&S Smoothies and the Tin Roof. You can choose either one of those, $15 worth to either one of those stores in the Merchants Walk Plaza.
All right, we can do that. What's the question, Pat?
The question is, what is a group of vultures circling in the sky called?
Lawyers
and Democrats.
The morning dish.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil that for you, Pat. Sorry about that, buddy.
It's actually what the correct answer is: the morning dish.
Oh, that was good.
I'm hungry.
There you go. Let's get to breaks. All righty, we're back with you. Who we got, Pat?
We got Joe Brown on the phone.
Joe Brown. Good morning, Joe Brown.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. What is a buzzard called that's circling whatever it was?
A murder.
A murder.
No, that's crows.
Oh, that's crows. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I took a shot at it.
There you
Good
go.
try. Good try, though.
Okay.
Ah, we appreciate you. Phone lines are still open. I love Rebel Boy said, I agree. I missed this. Swap screens with Gary and Steve, and let Pat be blacked out. They want you to be blacked out during the breaks, Pat.
Woo! Rebel Boy's one of my cheerleaders.
Yeah. See that.
He's a big fan.
How did the show go for Friday night, man? I missed it.
Oh man, it was kind of legendary, dude. It was really good, really good, packed out and fun. Yeah. Leslie Satcher is a force of nature, dude. Her voice, her humor, her stories, the way she plays the guitar, all of it. And then you got Gordon Kennedy singing "Change the World Better Than Eric Clapton Ever Dreamed," with all due respect. Good. It was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. I hate
got a good one coming up. Got a good one coming up this next time.
Who we
July
got?
25th. Come on. Earl Bud Lee, he wrote a little song called I Got Friends in Low. Yeah.
I worked with him. I worked on his album
man.
at Criteria. Yeah, he's awesome.
Would you shut up, let him talk?
And then Wen Varble, who just got through heart surgery really well, thank God.
Right.
He's doing well and ready to get back on that horse. So he'll be there.
Oh man,
awesome!
Y'all do not realize how much fun this is. I hate I missed it. I really do because
and
then he left out the instigator. Got the instigator. We got Gary Chapman up there, which keeps things stirred up. So
somebody's got to stir up the mess. Yeah.
It is so much fun, man. I'm not kidding you. I hate I missed it. I bet that was a great show. So we got one to July the 25th.
Yeah, it's always the last Friday of the month. So come on out.
But
the community's finally figured out that we're doing it, and they're showing up. It's hilarious. There was a line at the bar going out the front door.
Awesome. Well, you have got to get tickets early. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, I want to go.
And it's limited seating. That's the thing.
Earl Bud's going to be there.
Yeah,
that guy's awesome. That guy's is absolute legend.
And you worked on his what now?
On his album, yeah. So,
really?
Yeah, you know, he kind of got sick of writing songs for other people, and he wanted to cut an album of songs that just he wrote. So he went down to Criteria, where I was working at the time, and he was putting that together, and I got to work with him. That was a lot of fun. He's a really cool
What
guy.
do you mean now? Just define work. Did you like play an instrument on the album?
No, I was in the studio. I was an engineer.
Oh, you're the guy that got the water. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I love that thing.
Somebody's got to go get the weed, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I love
You
it.
want a lawyer for that.
That was pre-law school.
You know, they had JJ Gray or JJ Cale that was in the studio, and they were sending him back and forth getting stuff. And then Eric Clapton showed up, and he's like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And nobody knew. This is JJ. JJ. Of course, you can't hardly hear.
So are we not going to have a winner? I guess.
Hang on. So Brian called in a minute ago, said that a group of vultures was called a Congress. I thought that was pretty funny.
That sounds right.
No, Congress is not. I think that's rhinoceroses.
Rhinoceros.
Yeah, there you
Congress
go.
of rhinoceros.
But now we
It
got
rhymes.
Joe. Let's see if Joe knows the answer.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey,
Joe.
All right.
Joe Brown again.
Joe
Yeah,
Brown
he's back.
again.
Oh, okay, good. He's back.
Yeah, kettle.
Yeah, you got it. It's a kettle.
Kettle.
Dang, I knew it.
Yeah, that just
Yeah.
came to you. Yeah, right after you hung up.
I was like, no, I'm wrong. It's a kettle.
I knew that right after I Googled it.
Tip of my tongue.
I wonder who names all this stuff, man. I mean, you know, let's call that a kettle.
Some guy that has a way.
Well,
too much
think
time
about
in
what it
his
looks
podcast,
like.
man.
There's a bunch of vultures circling. It looks like the top of a kettle. You know.
I also
stirring
think I think Congress is a better word for it. I think we need to
Yeah.
change it.
that. Rhinoceroses around the world will not agree with you.
Rhinos.
Yeah.
won't agree with-
No,
okay.
I was clear.
yeah.
The whole word
Yeah, I heard you.
rhinoceroses.
I heard you. I know what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah.
So, Pat,
Code speak.
do you feel you're a rhino?
No, I don't.
Do you feel you're a Republican?
Not really.
Democrat?
Definitely not.
So where do you, I mean, I feel like you're a super rhino. Where do you feel like you're at here? What would you,
I think I'm conservative, but I'm also pragmatic. So I'm not a dreamer like Harry. You know, I'm not trying to save the world or boil the ocean. Just what can work.
Yeah. Just a point. Conservatives don't think they're conservative. They're conservative.
yeah. There you go.
I didn't say I thought. I said I think I am a conservative.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
As a conservative,
So-
I don't
so,
think I'm a
okay.
conservative. I'm just a
Are
conservative.
you saying conservatives don't think?
No, I'm saying we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with
All right.
Gary.
Honest question, Pat. Who would you say, like, in this world of politics, would you say like an ideal conservative? Like, because last time you said Mitt Romney, but I'm
Yeah,
not-
and I'd
give you
stay
one
with that one.
you would
I'd
say
say-
that Mitt Romney is a conservative.
I would say that Mitt Romney is close to my ideal candidate.
That would be rhinoceros.
As a conservative, though, right? I mean, you would say that Mitt Romney is a conservative.
Yeah.
And I'm just asking, like, what would you say makes him that?
Okay.
I mean, just like in general, like, what would you say, like, that his,
Why is he
like, why would he be a conservative?
Yeah.
I'm genuinely
I think his voting record would stand up to conservative principles. I don't think it's pure. I don't think it's 100%, but then I don't think anybody's 100%. But I think he goes in that 80-20. That's okay with me.
yeah. I think that's okay with me. Yeah.
I would just always kind of taught that, like, the number one thing that a conservative believes in is limited government.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that Mitt Romney would fit that. I mean, I would say that his voting record, and I would say that it has expanded government for the most part.
And Pecky, that's fine. When you ask somebody what they think and they give you the answer, how do you argue with that?
You're supposed to attack them ruthlessly
I
and
do.
relentlessly.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you.
Probing questions and
plan.
then attack.
The echo
real quick,
chamber
this is breaking
strikes
news.
again.
Breaking news real quick. It just came across Trump Social, and it's going to give you, Pat, one more thing to hold over his head if it doesn't happen. But Trump just, in quotes, vowed to save New York City. Let's see if he can do it from the communists.
His first step in that mission is to put the guy in prison if he wins.
That's a good one. It's a pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, if that don't
Did you hear
work,
about his little $140 million faux pas?
no.
He said he was going to take the $140 million that the government had given to the supermarkets in New York City. He was going to take that and redistribute 60% of it to build and service those government-run, federally funded. No, sorry, New York City funded government stores. If you look at it, that $140 million was given by the existing private supermarkets to the city of New York. They're the ones that put that money there, not the government. He completely screwed that up. Totally. He's an idiot.
Well, I know if Trump don't step in, New York City's gone. There's no doubt. So anyway, Gary, always good to have you, man. We appreciate you. Oh, when we asked what you were, Pat Malone, we got a couple of comments here. Number one was idiots. Second was confused, and we got another one, fence walker, and the list goes on. So yeah, there's a lot of things.
Always good for the name callers.
It's good.
Always appreciate the name calling.
Oh man, Gary,
words matter.
If we can help you, let us know, man. Everybody loves Gary Chapman Wild Wednesday.
Say hi to Earl Bud.
I'll do it, man. Come on up.